Hi guys, my name is Roger, and ever since I was a teenager, I've always wanted to build my own car. I started this channel to see if an average person, like me, can design and build their own mid-engine car. If you like what you see here in my videos, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you know someone who you think might be interested in my videos, please share the videos with them. I'll be adding a new video every week, and with that out of the way, let's get started with this week's video. So I guess you've seen me setting these parts up with the suspension arms clamped in place and gluing them together. All the glue set up looks good. I knocked one of these brackets off from removing the bolt and suspension, so I'll have to glue one of them back, but I'm going to go ahead and weld these together. You can kind of see there's 6 plates here. Everything should be glued at the correct spacing in the correct positions. I welded one on last night just to test to see that I could set the welder up and weld accurately. First time I've welded steel with a TIG welder, and it is so much easier than welding aluminum that it's kind of a joke, but hopefully these will weld good. I won't have any issues, but I'm going to go ahead and get to welding these. A couple of quick updates. I am welding these suspension mount components up and starting to mount suspension pieces. Just wanted to show you what I'm working on, and I'm about halfway done welding these. I've got started mounting front suspension. I have one wheel and tire mounted here. The lower suspension mount is welded into place and just bolted roughly where it goes. Nothing precise, but the issue I ran into, and I thought this might happen, is when I rotate the wheel and tire inward, like turning the car, the tire doesn't have enough clearance on these two corners, the lower and the upper. In my SolidWorks model, I knew it was going to be close, but it's closer than in my model because the suspension geometry that I had purchased from someone that modeled it wasn't correct, and it's kind of led me into an issue here. But it's nothing I can't fix. What I'm going to do to solve it is I'm going to cut a section of this tubing out and put a diagonal in and move this back to where I have about 1 inch of clearance. But I'm not going to make this change until I have all of the suspension, wheels, tires, steering rack, and everything mounted on the car. And then I'll run the steering rack from end to end, the full travel of the wheels when they're turning, and I can see if that is the only thing that I have issue with, or if maybe I need to adjust some other areas also. But I'm just going to wait to make that change once everything is complete and I'm sure that there's no other issues. But other than that, that won't be too bad of a change. Other than that, the suspension looks good. I'm kind of happy with it. I don't have the correct size of lug nuts, so I'm not able to mount this wheel up snug against the spindle. I have lug nuts ordered. They'll be here in a couple of days. And UPS came through today with coilover shocks. So I have shocks to start mounting once I get all these suspension components in place. And then I've got to figure out exactly how I'm going to mount the coilover shocks here at the top. But there will be a sheet metal piece that's formed and welded in, similar to what a stock mount is on a Corvette. But that's all, and let's get back to welding. So you just saw me struggling to get this rear suspension and rear tire on. I think I finally have it on and positioned where it should be. It looks fairly close to in line, best I can tell just by sitting there. But I have adjustments going both directions just in case. But I just want to show you what I've done here. Of course, I've got a drill bit here. I don't have the correct bolt. But this is the top mount. You can see how it's attached to the aluminum tube, how the Corvette suspension attaches to it. Come down to the rear. You can see how the suspension and the sway bar mount to this one steel piece. Of course, I don't have the other side attached yet, but the sway bar runs all the way across there. May have to grind a little bit out here for clearance for that sway bar. It looks like it's almost touching, and I know it will flex in and out. So I'll probably grind that a little bit just to make sure I have plenty of clearance to let that rotate. You can kind of see what I've got going on here. And like I said earlier, I don't have the lug nuts yet, but the wheel and tire is setting up flush against the spindle, it seems like. But once the lug nuts arrive, I'll tighten everything down, and just to make sure I can get everything in alignment and still have a little bit of slot left. Just to be sure when I take it to have an alignment done. But that's what the rear suspension will look like.